Justin, this is the fourth time you've shown Raker to the class. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to another episode of Nothing Fancy, Nothing New, Play the Best Deck because it's broken. This is another testing league ahead of the Oklahoma City land run, which is going to be a few days from the filming of this league. So far, I have not seen anything that's really convinced me to play something else for the land run. There's possibility that maybe playing Doomsday does something for you, but the problem is I don't see the paper metagame being as adapted to the Raker metagame as online, and even online with all the adaptation, even the worst matchups for this deck are still real close to 50-50 just based on the sheer raw power of this deck. The bug decks that have been brewed specifically to beat this deck, close to 50-50. The things that beat this deck are still the things that were beating this deck before it got a huge power upgrade, which is like Jewel Shops and Doomsday. And I just don't think there will be a lot of Doomsday at the land run. There could be a decent amount of Jewel Shops. I'd be very upset if I saw that as the Raker player, but you're not really able to do too much about that. So what we're going to do is just keep trying to play through leagues here and learn as much as we can. I do think there's a certain amount of understanding what cards are important in which matchups and at what times. The mulliganing is very, very important, and there's always more to learn on mulliganing. And so I think, we're going to just keep trying to learn as much as we can so I'm best equipped to play this deck, which is, not outside of my wheelhouse, but definitely not in my comfort zone going into the big event. So I will see you in round one of another test league with the broken deck. Might be like this for a little bit. We'll see you in round one. Did you know subscribing here on YouTube and following on Twitch are both free ways you can support my vintage content? There's also the fact that I got some sweet proxies made by Nyx here for the land run. Got my How's Moving Workshops, Monoliths, and City of Traders, which I'll probably end up playing in both Legacy and Vintage, which is pretty sweet. Not the workshops anyways, but the the Monoliths and City of Traders, which is good. We're up against Wessel here, who has been on a tear with anti-Raker decks. One of the stronger players on the platform, but he has a 5-0 with a Breach Drain deck, as well as a 5-0 with his version of Rug Atraxa Control. We'll see which of those we are playing with today. I'm never mulliganing this hand, so let's see what we got. Tropical. Bobble. Yeah, that's a good one. Stops like all my stuff. This will just be Ancient Tomb and Wasteland. And then from there, we need to decide if we want to do Tezzerets, Rakers, Rings. Got a lot of choices, as long as we don't get strip mined, I guess. Raker is the worst because of Oath. There's the Oath. But we do have the Ring to play through the Oath later here, so lots of options still. I think we're just going to go and try to acquire some Sensitive Divining Tops to maybe kill our opponent. Let's get that in play. So now, if I can get my Tezzeret up again, I can get 2 tops and maybe kill my opponent with a Raker. Let's see what kind of removal spells he has. He doesn't really have any removal spells, so. Okay, Gaia's Blessing. So if I can play a Raker and another top on this turn, I will win the game. I can also play a Ring. Draw cards. So let's see, what is this? Whenever an artifact enters. So whenever an artifact enters. So I can't play a Lotus through Bauble. Oh, I had it. I just needed to draw on my upkeep. That's what I get for not paying too much attention. If I had drawn on my upkeep, then I could have gone Raker, top, get a Raker token, or yeah, and then Tezzeret for the other one. So I had this, I just threw it away. That's okay. We'll continue playing through here. Wish I had a mana to untap, but I'll just draw as many cards as I can. Okay. I got lots of options coming up here, so we'll see what opponent does. Maybe he'll go ring, or maybe he'll like tap out for a DAC or something. I don't know. I threw this game though. I had an uncounterable win and I missed it, so it's on me. Opponent still doesn't have very much to work with here, but if he passes with a land, he can crack the bauble at least. I should draw with this. Allen Gates. Let's draw a million cards. All right. So I like something like... I'd like to see if I can get my own bauble in play. How could I do that? Kind of want my opponent to like crack their bauble first somehow. I have double top already though, so I can just do that. So I can just go search with Tezzeret. Yeah, obviously I missed the easy way here, but let's play a Vexing Bauble. And if my opponent cracks and counters Bauble, then I can maybe play multiple things that matter. Let's see. I will just go... I guess my Mana Vault can be countered, but I don't know that that matters very much. Because I have so much mana now that I can probably get another top anyways. I guess? Okay, he's just tapping. This means nothing. Okay. So I threw that game, obviously. I needed to do it one turn earlier, but it doesn't really matter because once you have things going, it doesn't really matter. This deck is that strong. But I'm trying to eliminate all of those small mistakes so that we can play our best Magic in Oklahoma. Opponent is going to bring in a Braids, Grudges, Null Rods, and Traps. A Braid, Grudge, Null Rod, Trap, and he's got main deck Oko, main deck Dak Faden. Seems like a Masticore matchup to me. Stone Coil seems okay. Cage seems good. Oath, Ring is still fine though, which is the weird part because Ring stops Oath trigger anyways. Then they're only on like 2 Null Rod. I kind of like the Needle too, so I don't know how we're gonna board for this. This boarding seems quite challenging. Maybe I just like don't want to bring in. I mean, this is so good against all the walkers. It's not good against Grudge and a Braid, obviously. It's actually not as easy as I thought. I might just not bring those in. Just bring in Defense Grid and some Tezzeret targets. I could be wrong here, for what it's worth. I probably want to get rid of the Mental Misstep, too, because he's not playing Consign. It's kind of an awkward thing, because it's just not the normal matchup, but it seems fine. All right, so... let's go... Defense Grid. See if that gets a counter spell or not. It's probably a surveil. Oh, they have a... oh, he does have Consign. It was at the start of his thing. That's my fault. I did not see that. I'm going to go Mana Crypt, Emerald, Bauble. This can get trapped, obviously. This can also get trapped, but I'm not going to play around double trap. I forgot about consign, so that's good that I kept the mental misstep in. Not forgot, but like I look at the 5 sideboard. So this is like an 8-10 card sideboard coming in. It's pretty impressive. Obviously, Oath here would be bad for me, but I think I just need to do the thing. Ancient Tomb is a terrible draw, obviously. I think the answer here is just play a land attack. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep this hand because I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Like if I was supposed to like go defense grid go if it gets countered, I could have gone like I don't want to like not play these out when I have I don't want to not play them out when I have a bobble, but then I don't want to run bobble into Mindbreak Trap either. And I also want these cards for a Raker, so it's all really kind of hard. But I'm just drawing lands, so I think I'm just going to die. Can't imagine this can go the distance. So maybe this was, I mean, I was on the draw. Is this really a mulligan? Probably not. Oko is pretty bad for me here. I assume it's just turn off Raker. Yeah. That's probably just game. Unless I draw like a ring. And, you know, even a ring here is not very good against Oko. New Raker. New Raker is definitely not bad. Because if he turns this off, then the Oko does die. I will play out my things here. Because I want to make sure I have max damage. So this puts my opponent at 11. I think I have to attack Oko still. It's really unfortunate. This game did not like because I didn't have a bobble. I needed to draw things, right? I needed to draw actual action. And a lot of my deck is action, right? I had 4 cars to draw to, 4 Tezzerets, 3 things, Forge Ring. Maybe it's expecting too much. Wastelands plus Null Rod doesn't exactly do it right now. Is it stock up? Okay. So he might just sacrifice his Oko to turn off the Raker, which would be reasonable. If he finds a Mox, he can stand up, which is annoying for sure. Because then I can't even attack with this. But it does give me outs to draw like artifacts that matter. I think this game is kind of lost. I would have to hit runner runner, and my opponent would have to have nothing going on. Okay. Does this mean there's a 1 of removal spell, or does this mean the Oko is just dying? I guess I'm willing to see if there's a removal spell to tap out from Consign. But I think the Oko has to just die, so... Really unfortunate. I would like to be attacking face here, but it's kind of hard to do that. This will almost certainly get countered, but I will get a trigger from this. Yep. Oh, he couldn't counter any other things there because there was only 1 blue up. We still have 5 power. It's not a 2-turn clock because of the food token now. We are still dead to Oath here. The ring would have been a good answer to Oath, but I don't think I can hold on to the ring. I think I have to just jam it while there's less counter spells available. Nothing. Maybe a Braids are coming this turn. A Braid plus gain 3, maybe. But then you'd still hit this right now, or wouldn't you? Blue. Blue. Dig? Dig and gain 3? Okay. I mean, this gives them, like, fetch land Oath as an out, so I would definitely dig. Ox. That still doesn't play a braid. But I think you should probably a braid before. Okay. Just going to my turn for some reason. Fair enough. All right, so my best draw is still Tezzeret, One Ring, all the good cards, One Ring. Okay, I'll cast it. Got another Force. Yep. I don't have a fast clock here, so I would assume we're still lost, but try my best. Fetch. All right, maybe he just draws nothing. Like, his deck has got a lot of air in it, so it's possible. Car. Oh, car is a clock. If I just keep drawing spells, another Abrade. All right, one card left in my opponent's hand. Okay. Their one card hasn't been an Oath. Could be a Grudge. So we haven't had any Grudge targets. Hedge Maze, Bin's Lotus. Surveil Lands are broken. Grudge. Okay. So had double counter for Ring. Had double removal spell for Rakers. But he did cast Dig and Stock Up in this game, so makes sense. I'm out of threats here. I need to keep just randomly top decking every turn, so. Alright. Sometimes I wish I had like a land that pumped spawn tokens. I guess you'd be better off with like a Castle Doom, which can play through Void Mirror and make constructs. But it would, I guess it wouldn't matter here because again, my opponent has double Strip Mine Wasteland stuff. I don't know why we're not cracking food. It seems straightforward. This Ancient Grudge is covering cars and tops a little bit. Top. Okay, I assume this is going to get countered if my opponent's not done anything these last two turns. Not get countered. Stone Coil Serpent. I think I'm willing to just do that. And see if my opponent will take the bait on the top activation. Like, he can grudge this top. Oh, no, he did not take the bait on the top activation. Okay, then I probably will just do this as a 9/9, make him grudge it. I was trying to bait a grudge on the Stonecoil Serpent so that this would be protected, but it didn't happen. I do have to like get through the grudge at some point anyways, so. Another Wasteland. I've won like every flip in this game. Like every single flip I've won this game, so. Someone's a Luxac. It's me. All right, now we have a counterspell on negation. We have to get through that anyways. I know my next two cards though, right? It's a Talon Gates and a City, so I think we're just dead to that then. I don't think it's possible that we can out top deck a blue deck from this spot. So I guess I can sack my spawn tokens if they draw Oath, so. Two Surveil Lands. Oh, kept on top. Hopefully it's just Oath and not Blue Spell. That's Ancestral Recall. Yep, that's what I was worried about. Honestly, we had a good stretch of top decks in a row, right? We played like Ring, Raker, or we played Ring, Raker, Car. So it wasn't even that bad. It's a lot of Moxen. It seems like not that great of an Ancestral, but I still have to get through at least one more dead draw. So I mean, if we do draw a third ring, Tezzeret doesn't really do it at this point, because Tezzeret doesn't get Stone Coil anymore. Null Rod. Okay. Makes sense. And he's gonna wasteland my mana now. Okay, now I don't know that I have any outs. I'm good here. I don't think I need to play this one. Saved us some time. Okay, I actually think that this Karn is still fine. I don't know why I took the Karn out. I still like Needle on Wasteland a lot. I still kind of like Ring too, because I don't really like the idea of Masticore versus for a Braid and Grudge. I think I'm gonna take out Talon Gates. Obviously, they are a Wasteland deck, and Talon Gates can be used against Atraxa, but this doesn't seem very good. This seems fine. It's enough threats. Not a lot, obviously. Just Tezzeret top, but I think that's enough. I think we're supposed to run into trap on this top because we just don't have enough mana to not. Pearl, Strip Mine, Tomb Down. Take another one. Monolith. Let's spin Ring, Needle, Monolith. So okay. I will go. See if I can do this right this time. I will activate my top, hold priority, draw with top, drawing the needle, and putting the ring down here. And then I will play Lotus Petal, and I will play Needle on Wasteland. My opponent just went through their turn. Don't know if they meant to or not, but it does mean we don't have to play around Consign, which is great. Got a Monolith. Got a Ring. Always activating, even if they have Null Rods, so... Alright, I think it looks like they just kept Force Strip Mine and then didn't draw lands. Because you kind of have to keep a Force no matter what, so... Alright, I will go... Monolith... Raker... Top... Been looking for a land, really, or a probe or a pearl. I think I just let this all happen. My opponent can definitely still win this game. I have an active ring top thing. If he just plays a null rod, I probably lose. No activates, no nothing. Okay. I should have once again drawn with my stupid top. Okay, I think my opponent just has actual factual nothing. That was a weird, really weird game. I'd love to see what's in his hand if I can. Ah, okay. So a braid, time walk. So I kept force strip mine and then was hoping to draw into mana to cast spells. Okay. Makes sense. This is like kind of an unseen power, and part of the deck is your opponents are forced to have force. This is your opponent must have force in their opener. And if they see a hand on the draw that's force plus strip mine, they're just gonna take it. And they had to force my first card, but then they didn't have a force for my next one, and that's all it needs sometimes. All right. Okay, round 2. Up against Rio Jund, who plays a lot of fair Luris decks. We'll see if that's the case here. Doesn't look like it. My hand does not produce extra fast mana, which in my opinion just makes this a mulligan. And then, of course, I use my London Mulligan to immediately draw a hand with no mana. We'll go to 5. So be it. I think I priced into just keeping my 3 drops. I think maybe only 2 3 drops. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna go Tezzeret Chalice because my opponent isn't on Luris. If my opponent was on Luris, I might change my mind just to stock up 4 stack. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's gonna be a tough game to win on a mold of 5. I'll do my best. Might go for a blind 0. How many blind 0s are there? Not enough, right? Not enough. I think we'll just wait and see if I can't chain like 2 tops together or something. I feel like there's just like not enough blind 0s, right? There's 9, so there's 7, so it's 7 out of 54. And I have to dodge misstep. Seems pretty bad. Ah, yes, Quantum Riddler control. This makes a lot of sense in my head because this will be a deck that rewards you for playing main deck consign because you can consign your Riddlers and you can consign your opponent. If my opponent has a swords, my opponent has a swords. I don't think I can afford to not play around it. Or don't think I can afford to play around it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to blind draw because now 0s and 1s are alive. Okay. All right, so they just have a swords and I immediately get punished. If I had not stood up my thing, then maybe I can actually win this game. It feels pretty bad, but I don't know. Am I supposed to play around swords? I guess maybe I could. I could definitely play around swords there. It feels so bad, but then again, like, does the 4 damage matter? I didn't know that I was drawing. Like, so the problem is I didn't know I was drawing this, right? That's the biggest problem is I just didn't know that I was drawing that. All right, so I still have 3 Tezzes and 3 keys. I also have another car. This is 1, 2. I mean, I can trigger car again this turn. The fact that I can just like trigger car every turn for the whole game is crazy to me, but okay. I get cars again. Does anything I do matter? That's my question. My question is, do my choices matter? Because this shit is so broken that I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. Calm down. Calm down. It's fine. Anyone who tells you that, just keep going. Just keep playing Magic. Just keep playing Magic the Gathering. I think like I might have made a terrible choice, right? And I played into Swords to Plowshares when I didn't have to, and it just didn't matter. It just didn't matter. So I don't know. Some kind of Jeskai Riddler control deck. Thinking. I don't know if they have like a Wastelands or not. Is the thing. This is a bad set of changes if they're on Wasteland. Can they play Jeskai with Wastelands? Maybe. All right. Hand looks great. Hopefully I don't get Stony Silence on turn 1. See what we got. Okay. We're not getting Stony Silence on turn 1. That's good. We're getting tap land. Okay. Not bad. Search slow. Value. Kept on top. Okay. I will go with Ancient Tomb Mana Crypt. Mox. Bauble. Bauble resolves. What is my play? I feel like I'm getting Stony Silenced, but I don't know that my hand can beat a Stony Silence. So what do we do about that? My hand can't really beat a Stony Silence. I mean, we just resolve the best card, right? We resolve the One Ring. Yeah, I got null rotted. No land. Okay. So now I play a Tezzeret and start playing cards to try to get to a Tezzeret ult. Also have an active Mana Crypt and an active One Ring, so I'm probably gonna die, but what am I gonna do? I did not keep a Stonecoil Serpent in from the board. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn with the ring. I don't know. Oh. Well, that absolutely could win. You can go to 1 life. I mean, he probably has Consign now. That's fine. Go to 1 life. If it works, it works. If I get swords, it's not the end of the world. I can gain 7, but I guess I'll probably die to Mana Crypt flip first. If not, I can kill this Null Rod, I guess. So, you know, there's some winning to be had here. Let's see. I lose life. I don't know if this is the right order. Maybe I'm just supposed to throw first. This lets me draw with top and ring, though. Consigning my Masticore trigger. Okay, so that kills me. Consigning my Masticore trigger kills me here because I won't be able to stop my ring from killing me on the next turn. It's pretty funny. Oh, well. Close. I think that was a worthwhile gambit. Yeah, I just can't do enough damage fast enough. Kind of close, though. Kind of close. Oh, just see if my opponent swords me. I probably won't. Because I am dead. Wonder if I made choices I could... I will untap my ring. I'll untap my time vault. I'm alive. I'm alive. No, I'm just. I mean, maybe they'll swords me. You never know. Consign my Masticore trigger. So that's crazy. I can't believe that happened. Consign my Masticore trigger. Oh man. All right. I don't actually have a way to not die here, so I'll just die. I did just get wastelanded, right? So it does tell me some more things that I didn't know before. I still don't know that that means I really want to have Talent Gates in my deck, I'll be honest with you. Maybe I can bring out some rings here and play some Talent Gates instead. They're going to play a bunch of Null Rods on me. Just take out these rings. Let's try that. Be a little bit more anti-Null Rod oriented. Keep. Black Lotus. Fantastic car. Oh, man. Yep. Not countered. What is my best play now? It's probably a Tezzeret. Two forces. It's the world we live in. 8 forces dot deck. Probably lose. I don't know. Like, why? if I have to play every game where I make my opponent have 2 forces, like that's a winning proposition, right? Gonna have Hull Breacher here. What am I gonna do? Offends grid. I'm still gonna get swords. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. The fence grid does not protect me from getting swords here, which is hilarious. But it does now, kind of. Meticulous Archive. Because what I don't want to see is a Wasteland, really. I guess I also don't want to see a Quantum Riddler. They can still force me. That's the only thing they can do, though, so. They have force. Okay. Maybe they don't have force. Maybe they have Consign as their only card? No, it looks like they're trying to force me. They're trying to mental misstep me. That is so bad for me. Okay, I'm gonna conceal this. Ancient Tomb. Man, mental misstep is a blowout, huh? Oh, now they know about my Ancient Tomb. Need to draw running spells. That's not bad either. See what happens. Stock up. That's probably means I'm losing my Saga. But maybe I'll be able to get a hit in for 4. Oh, this game is silly. Double force. Okay. It's like just a numbers game at that point, right? How many times can you keep a broken 7 versus how many times can an opponent keep forces? Oh, they didn't have a Saga. I didn't draw a... I did not draw a spell there. I get a top off of Saga if it completes, so we'll see what happens. Flow stating. I mean, they're drawing a million cards. They stocked up into flow state. Tons of mana. I can get a Quantum Riddler soon. I've already time walked, so this has to be another flow state. They can still get a Wasteland. They haven't found a Wasteland yet. Wasteland would be really good here. No Wasteland. Okay. Yield until end step. Make a construct. Untap. Draw. Make a construct. Get Sensei Stop. I mean, the bauble wins, right? So I don't know that any of this really matters. 9 damage. I mean, my opponent must have just like whiffed on a Wasteland, huh? Crazy. Okay, on to round 3. I mean, I think these first 2 rounds are like another great example of my overall feelings about the deck, where I think these decks are like super geared. Like, I think the second one especially, super geared to trying to beat Raker. And you just end up with like a close 2-3 game set. And then when you play against a deck that's like not geared to be Raker, or like a normal deck or a Dredge deck, then you just run them over. So like, and then I don't know how like these decks play against each other when they're like super all in on trying to counter Raker. It just makes the most sense to me to just be jamming this deck until I get too tilted or or it goes away. Opponent has mulliganed to 5 at least. It's just like really crazy to me that like the bug deck we've played against multiple times now in these recordings that is like super geared all in to beat Raker. Just like doesn't. So my opponent's on Dredge. This is the best matchup in Vintage for us. They have to grief either the One Ring or the Needle on Bazaar. Both of them are really tough for your opponent to beat. They also mulled the 5, so they are down to Bazaar plus 2 other cards in hand. They took the Needle, makes sense. I think that is what I would take as well. Unless you had like a misstep, obviously. Oh, go. Or go? What the heck does that mean? I don't really understand what go means in this sense. I don't think I'm allowed to do anything other than jam. Because of like vigors and other griefs. So I will put a One Ring in play. You have a Mind Break Trap, you have a Mind Break Trap. Negation, pitching, Narcomoeba. So they wanted to not expose their Bazaar and hold open Force? Or do they not have a Bazaar? I don't know. Like, theoretically, I can have a Wasteland, but I don't think that matters. I think you're just supposed to play the Bazaar and, like, do your activation or whatever. Double Dredger. This is definitely a winnable game for the opponent on a mold of 5. I've drawn my dead card here instead of a good card. Saga's good here, though. And then, obviously, spinning top into another ring will be great. Or into a Raker combo, or into nothing. I could lose this game. My opponent just mulled a 5, play the double interaction, take away Needle Ring. This is an amalgam. Another Dredge 5. Icarid. So I'm playing this. And I'm playing Key. And then I'm activating this so I can spin in case there's something good here. And then play our Saga. Raker. I will definitely draw this Raker and win the game on the next turn. Okay. All right, we're still fine. It was close, though. It almost didn't work. So a good effort from the opponent here. Almost a Dredge win. But in the end, we draw a Raker, and then we search out another top. I guess I have 3 tops. Opponent's gonna make me do this 22 times. That's not very nice. I have demonstrated the loops. I think they've realized I've demonstrated the loops. Even with like a revival or something here, I have manifold key and I have a third top. So like, I think my opponent just has a dredger in hand from the other parts of this game, but even without those, this is the loops. Okay, I guess we are continuing here. Nico, please. Don't make me Sensei's top you 19 more times. No one wants this. I think they got confused because there's the third top. That's reasonable. Okay, I had to deal with something. But I have gone to sideboard here, brought in my anti-dredge cards, and these are not them. It's 2 of them. Every Tezzeret is an anti-dredge card. Cage is its own anti-dredge card, and obviously Saga can get an anti-dredge card as well, so 7 card keep for my opponent, though. My teammates have been telling me to cut the Tormod script from my deck. They don't think I need it, or the Lantern, but I don't know, man. It's nice having all of those options. Like here, having Tezzeret that can actually do something on turn 1 if I got like my Cage griefed seems reasonable. What I have to worry about here is getting Vigored. That will help a lot, so... Ancient Tomb, Defense Grid. Let's see if I can get a Force out of it. If there's no Force, then obviously we just resolve Cage and we're in a great spot. They have just Vigor, then this card is insane. This card is real good against Dredge. It's not good against Grief, obviously, but it's great against everything else. That resolved. Okay, cool. So now I can go Ruby, Cage. They can't do anything about it. So now they have to win through Cage and Defense Grid, which I'm not really sure they can. They can play... I don't even know what they can do. I think they can only do is... All they can do is do hollow ones, right? They can't do Icarus, they can't do Narcomoeba, they can't do Prized Amalgam. They can just only do hollow ones and Creeping Chills. So I think they're probably supposed to like natural draw, try to find hollow ones. But then I'm going to beat hollow ones with Saga and Tezzeret. I'm going to Tezzeret Needle. So like, this matchup's just so bad for them. This is like the reason that Dredge is not play. Like Dredge was already kind of bad on Magic Online, but it was playable, right? It was like a 47% win rate deck. It wasn't good, but it was playable. It could win events if people weren't prepared. If people are playing Raker in any amount, any like reasonable amount, you just can't play Dredge. So we're seeing like some amount of Dredge players try to play Countervine instead. All right, so they figured it out. They're going to try to natural draw into a hollow one. They found a hollow one, not bad. And a Wasteland on my tomb, actually. Like, that's probably like the best possible combination they could have. Unfortunately for them, I can just go Jet, Monolith, Tezzeret. And I'm just going to Needle Wasteland, I think. I'm I'm not sure. Yeah, I feel like I'm just supposed to Needle Wasteland so I can make a construct. If I make a construct, I win, so this is the highest likelihood of working here. Like, I could name Bazaar so they can't find it, but I think just Needling Wasteland is what I want to do here. They kill Tezzeret, but if they don't find exactly Strip Mine for my Saga, I make 7/7 constructs and win. My opponent dredged here. I guess if they hit me to 14, they haven't used any chills, so chills are 12, but that's still not enough. They have to get in 2 hits. I'm a little confused. I don't exactly know what's happening. They're killing Tez. Yeah, I don't really understand what exactly the choices were there. I could read the logs, but I'm kind of over it, so. Yeah, the defense grid is crazy. This card is so good. It makes me want to play more of them, but I don't know if you really want to play more of them. Like, if everyone plays blue at OKC, then I do want to play defense grids. I just don't know that. All right, so now they're naturally drawing here. They need to get more hollow ones, but the hollow ones are not going to be able to beat construct tokens, so. Yeah. All right, Dredge it is. Okay, here we go, 3-0 round 4 up against AAA, who is the prolific Turbo Volt key player, though no Lurrus reveal this time. So we'll see what AA is testing this time. I'm gonna mulligan this. Man, these hands have been not ideal, but this one is fine. We got a Tezzeret. We can go get some extra mana. Maybe get a ring going on the next turn. I think I'll just keep as many of these payoffs as I can. I might actually go, because there's no Lurrus reveal, I might actually go Chalice on this first Tezzeret. Maybe that's a little greedy, but I feel like stopping my opponent from doing something broken is good here. So, see how my opponent feels about Chalice. Okay. I think that's a worthwhile. I think it's one of the strongest parts of this deck is that you do also have, in addition to like broken turn ones that win the game and broken turn ones that mean you can't lose the game, you also have just like broken interactive hands with like turn 1, like you have 5 Chalices and 5 Vexing Baubles, you know? So I have untap here and just cast the 1 ring. So seems pretty good. They have to have Spell Pierce or Consign here. Brainstorm, looking for force. If we find extra mana next turn, we can maybe... I guess we still need to have another artifact to get this test to Vexing Bauble searches. If this is Doomsday, it could be Doomsday, it could be Tinker, then Chalice should be decent against either of them, though Chalice is not like the end-all be-all. They can definitely, if they get enough mana, kill through a Chalice pretty fast. And we are not currently pressuring our opponent with any kind of car or any kind of rigor top, so we'll have to see what opponent puts together. And we'll have to see what if we draw and what we draw. All right, force, pitching, flow state. Okay. So that's fine. Can't do much about that because we didn't draw like some kind of artifact mana or some kind of like workshop or something to let us do other things. This is going to be an upkeep vamp for an ancestral, I assume. So using the vamp to shuffle the brainstorm, island ancestral. We still don't know if it's Doomsday or Tinker. Really could be either. Obviously, they're going to be tapped out here, but I'm really worried about losing. We got all kinds of action in our hand, not a lot of mana. Needle. Without knowing if there's Street Wraith or not, I don't know that I want to play Needle. What I can do with Needle is I can play Needle, use Tezzeret to get a mana vault, play a Tezzeret, untap the mana vault. All of that kind of hinges on my opponent not countering the needle or the mana vault, though, and I don't really know how do I feel if that happens. I guess it's not that bad. Yeah, I guess that's not actually that bad. Street Wraith here. Because if they're gonna like counter the Tezzeret, it's like better than getting our ring countered, right? And they know about the ring, so I think Mana Vault is better than Soul Ring because Mana Vault lets me play a ring this turn if they have just straight up nothing. Because they can also have Mindbreak Trap at the end of all this, but I think this is just the way we should go about things. And then I don't see any reason not to draw. We could hit Tolarian maybe. I don't know if that's actually good. All right, we have at least a fantastic card to win the game this next turn here, so if we can live for a turn, then we're okay. I still don't have a Vexing Bauble, though, to prevent like a Tinker or Citadel thing from happening. We'll see. Saga Gaming. Okay, so we're definitely not Doomsdaying. We're Tinkering. So this Chalice is probably even better, though. Okay, so what kind of one Demonic Tutor can we get here? Chain of Vapor on my Chalice, maybe? Chain of Vapor on my Chalice, play a bunch of 0-drops, win? Or maybe a Needle on the Ring, or let's see. Yeah, Chain of Vapor on my Chalice. All right. I mean, I can't do anything about that, so that is the power of Demonic Tutor. See how much zeros. Black Lotus. I mean, Black Lotus Yogwill, maybe. Maybe I was supposed to just get a Vexing Bauble instead of playing the ring out. Was I too... I don't know. Like, if they are on Doomsday, like, I don't really want to give them more turns. This stinks. I assume we're just gonna get Vault Keyed here between Demonic, Vampiric, and Ancestral and Chain. Like, just seems like I'm lost. So, I mean, this might just be my mistake, though. Let's be real here. This might just be my mistake. I just might have to not untap Mana Vault and go get a Vexing Bauble, so I have double interaction. I just like don't because I just don't know if my opponent is on Tinker or Doomsday. It's just so hard because I think that if they're on Doomsday, I don't think the Vexing Bauble play is good. But if they just naturally have the key, great. I mean, I could have hedged, right? I could have done one of the. I could have maybe named. I mean, I'm not gonna name Vault Key here. Ugh. That feels so bad. It feels like my opponent drew like 6 restricted cards and murdered me. But I also think I had chances there to like do something better. So I'm gonna bring in Defense Grid and I actually kind of like Cage here. I don't really like Needle. I think I like Cage a little bit more. And then I don't think I'm going to bring in these Mind Break Traps on the draw. I think I'm trying to be as good as I can. And then on the draw, maybe we'll take out the Defense Grids and play a couple of Mind Break Traps. Okay, that resolves. So we can at least get a spin in here. Flush Raker double top. Okay. So that just wins on the next turn. Not bad. Shut the dodge consign, really. But I can't do much of... No, I don't even have the dodge consign because I have the defense grid. So I'd have to dodge, like... Like, they can't even go Lotus Consign. I don't have to dodge anything. I just have to win. Yeah, I mean, this deck is so broken. I even think I should have won game one if I had maybe played better and just, like, put him on Tinker. Because I think I could have put him on Tinker. I didn't think he was playing Doomsday. But... okay, I'm going to put the defense grids away. I'm going to bring in some Mind Break traps. I'm going to take out... I think I still even like Chalice on the draw. Just because of the way my opponent's deck is configured. I kind of like everything, so maybe I will just play 2 Mind Break traps. Maybe I'll play 3 Mind Break traps instead of a key. I don't know that 4 is like a thing that makes sense for this kind of deck, for this kind of opponent. 4 feels like you're just trying to really save the day. I mean, yeah, I'm going to keep this. This lets me... I can't do both, but certainly have some options here. Brainstorm. Yeah, I actually keep going back to that game 1 where maybe if I had played around that, I'd be okay. Just getting the double anti-zero. It also is like decent against like a Tinker, but the Tinker's hard to do through a Chalice on 0. Just the one chain. Letting them only have one, I don't know. Don't know. Cool spot though. I feel like that spot is a spot where I can actually theoretically leverage game knowledge and play. When it has a Lotus, has a Pearl, has a Mox, sure. Passing with Hardcast Force. I would love to hit my own Lotus here so that I can play like Car and Karn on the same turn. Does that do it? So this is 1 mana short, right? So shit. Because if I go Ancient Tomb, Monolith, Car, Mana Crypt, Monolith, I can't play another one. So I think I actually have to just put the Karn on the stack and hope that and make my opponent have a force because this is too much mana, right? So I think what I'll do is put a Crypt on the stack, see what that does, and then I'll put a Karn on the stack. And that gives me next turn, it still gives me the ability to play Car and flip Car, right? Hardcast. Oh, Ancestral Recall. My opponent's hand was Black Lotus Ancestral. I guess they didn't fetch with the Brainstorm though, so not the end of the world. And negation. Okay, I mean, we got the Lotus at least. I mean, this is what you get when you register the good cards, right? You get to play them and draw them. It's a lot of mana. Black. Yogg. Lotus. All right. I guess, yeah. I mean, that's the hand. Like, this is the thing is, like, sometimes you get vintage, right? And the key is to win the game that you don't get vintaged, which was the one where I challenged my opponent. I didn't win that game, which is the difference, right? I got to crush game 2. He got to crush game 3. And the problem is I didn't win game 1. And I think it's my fault. And so I lose out on my ability to 5-0 here, which is classically vintage, so. And a Brainstorm fetch. I mean, I can't imagine we can ever come back from this spot, but I will play it out. I do have a lethal Car again, so if my opponent doesn't have force, they're dead. But, I mean, they stocked up and cast 8,000 draw spells, so. I mean, they can have Chain and Hercules at this point, too. Yeah, like I can't be mad about this game because this is like what my opponent gets rewarded with for signing up They just played a Vexing Bauble. They have to have Consign Chain or Crack Bauble Force. Okay. Mind Break Trap, a little late. A little late on the Mind Break Trap. Ancient Tomb, Fantasticar. Are they considering cracking Bauble to force this? Grim Monolith. Maybe they have a Spell Pierce on this. My stuff does require mana here, so maybe they're looking to crack and force that. I have to make sure I remove those stops if I make it to... All right, now they're going to crack and force this. In case my last card is Ring. Ah, trap on it. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. It does mean that I cannot play my Ring. I did not have enough mana to go through a trap there. Lucky for my opponent. Actually, if I just like had any zeros there, if this Mind Break Trap was one of the cards I boarded out that wasn't Talon Gates, if it was like a Defense Grid or a Manifold Key or a Needle, they would all win there. It's a Tinker, I assume. Oh, Hull Breacher. Jesus Christ. Okay, all right, all right. I have a trap over. I have a trap. I have a trap. I have a trap. I have a trap. I guess the One Ring though is not a very convincing card here with the Hull Breacher, and I can't also do like a top combo through a Breacher. I don't think I'm supposed to like bring in things to beat Breacher, but so what's my best card? My best card is Tezzeret. I don't think I can ever trigger this card through this Breacher. I think I will take 2 to save 1. This is just like not gonna work out though, right? Because I have a mana crypt that's killing me. That Mind Break Trap was just enough. I almost won. Like, I don't know if my opponent has a force in their hand, right? But that trap saved my opponent from dying there. After resolving Lotus Ancestral twice, my opponent still almost died. That's crazy. Twister. Stock up. I think we're lost for sure here. But my opponent almost died, actually. That's wild. I guess I can like win a flip, and I think I'm still gonna die. I mean, I could technically attack with this thing twice if my opponent has like all lands in hand or something. There is a mana crypt in play as well. I don't think that matters here though. I'm not gonna concede, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I just can't stop thinking about game 1. All right, I need to win every crypt flip, and I need to draw a spell every turn, and my opponent has to have like a non-creature spell that I can cast every turn, and my opponent has to have no forces, basically. But never say never. I immediately died. Oh, wait. Never say never. This has to resolve. Nah, it is not resolving. I tried. I did my best. Hardcast trap. So close. One to one at the end of the game where my opponent casts 2 Black Lotus Twisters, or 2 Black Lotus, 2 Ancestrals? That'd be pretty funny. Sure. 1 to 1 at the end. All right. I think that was a winnable set from my side. And the fact that game 3 was even close is crazy. All right, here we go. 5th and final round of our league. Let's see if we can close out on a good one. That's a nice looking hand. I will keep. The fact that, like, this just does so much. Imagine if this is a Scrawly Crawler, like, and the hand is still good, but the hand isn't like, I'm going to kill you right now good. All right, will you like to counter my turn 1 Fantasticar? It kind of sucks that I can't, like, go Tezzeret at Bobble ahead of this Fantasticar, or I got Commandeered. Flow state time walk. Okay. I think from here, what I'm going to do is Vault and Monolith and Tez on Bobble to make sure it's harder for them to do anything here. Though I guess that gets rid of my misstep ability, so I don't know. I can untap these, so we'll see if my opponent has, like, quad 0. Oh, they have nothing besides a Commandeer. Fantastic. And now we are on our way to Raker comboing our opponent. It's pretty fun. I actually almost have enough mana to pay for this mental misstep using our talent gauge, which would be kind of cool. Not there yet, but Saga Gaming. Nothing. More artifacts I can cast are what I want here to try to get towards tops. Obviously, a top wins. Didn't get there. So I think here I'm interested in not taking any more damage and waiting a turn. I think having this Bobble in play still seems really good to me. And now I can misstep something if I need to. So my opponent went to great lengths to commandeer my Fantasticar, but doesn't even matter. Well, if I simply never draw another artifact, and they get a Black Lotus here, might do it. Just draw land, might die. That'd be pretty crazy. This gets a Black Lotus, lets them play the game, so we'll see what happens. Could lose this one. Soul Ring. What deck are we playing against? All right. They can kill Tez now. Maybe I should have cracked Bobble earlier, but feels wrong. Oh, they're just playing one spell to kill Tez. Not a bad idea. That is the current way I am threatening to win. I'm kind of happy with that sequence. Yeah, Ring will do it for sure. Let me just do City Workshop Ring. It's not tap my stuff yet. Fantasticar. Yeah, I want to leave up in this mana thing, so I'll just do it off of here. I think playing this is fine. I could hold it, but maybe I could hold it to try to trigger on the next turn. But I think if I trigger on the next turn, I think if I get the things on the next turn, I'm just doing it anyways. So resolving it now. All right, there's a blue. What can you do with a blue? Still a Vexing Bobble in play, so there's a little like Tinker option here. Ancestral? No? Stock up, sure. We're protected by Ring, so we're not even that worried about Car. And then we still have Flesh Raker, so like our Car can do damage. I don't know. This Commandeer card is, no, I'm not a fan. All right, so no damage from that, 1 damage from that. Draw a million. By a million, I mean 2. Karn. Karn seems good. Let's do Flesh Raker. Needle. They might just die here, right? From attacks. And they can't do anything because I have a bauble. Yeah, they're dead. A good day to pie. Also a Karn. All right, we got our turn 1 commandeered, and that did not matter at all. Don't exactly know what we're playing against, but if they're on commandeer, I kind of like the idea of defense grid over Talon Gates. I don't know that you're ever supposed to like try to bring in Dismember or have Talon Gates for like Hull Breachers. That's something I'm trying to figure out still. But it seems like a matchup where I want Bauble and Chalice and maybe Karn. Maybe this Needle is better off as a trap. I don't really know. Maybe I'll just play a Talon Gates and have an out. We'll see. I didn't get a good. I mean, I assume it's like mono blue, like Japanese Tinker deck, but I don't know. Seems fine. Not unhappy with this kind of hand. We get to do a force bait on our car here. And then we have ring-a-ding-dings. I don't want to F6 here in case my opponent fetches to see if I'm F6'd. Nice. Got the force bait, pitch time twister. All right, maybe I am supposed to play Dismember, or at least 2 gates for the Hull Breacher. I'm a little worried about the Hull Breacher now that I'm thinking about it more. But what's the better answer? Is it Talon Gates? Or like playing kind of maybe a very narrow Dismember? All right, I don't have very many things I can cast here, so we're ringing. These Tezzerets were not super castable in this game. My opponent had a Commandeer. All right, Commandeer, pitching, Commandeer, and stock up. Yeah, I mean, that's a good Commandeer for sure. Maybe I can't really, like, if I could have played a Tezzeret and gotten a freaking Bauble, I would have, but I didn't. They have Consign as well. So they have Consign as well. That's fine. So they're just like playing a pile of Commandeers. Great. Well, the defense grids will be very good. Oh, right. Whenever this creature deals common damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery 5 or greater, make a copy of it. Okay, so yeah, they're just playing like Commandeer control. Ring is pretty good to commandeer and play commandeer control with, I will say. So what I'm gonna do here is go Monolith, Tezzeret, Bauble, Ring. Which is what I wanted to do with the rest of this game, but I just never had the mana for. Okay. Okay. Keep both of those in case I get Breachered next turn, I guess. Which could definitely happen, considering my opponent's going to draw another 3 cards. But we can draw... I mean, they can't kill Tezzeret with this stupid Composer. So... we should be able to draw a lot. Academy. They also have to consider Bauble here. I mean, we might still win this game after our opponent consigns our 1 ring, which is a fucked up thing to say. I guess they could have a time walk and then kill Tez, but we still have another Tez, so. Demonic. Oh, they can have a Null Rod here. Null Rod would be probably game ending, but I don't know if they want a Null Rod. We'll see. Time Walk is still good because I'll draw a million cards, obviously, and kill Tezzeret. Yeah, Time Walk makes sense. Put it off till next turn here. They have 10 cards in their hand. They can't play any zeros, though, to make their Academy better. They have killed Tezzeret. This card's kind of funny. Certainly can take over a game, right? 2/2, draws cards, can't be blocked, and you get copies of it every time you cast Force. It's cute. My opponent went to clean up, pitching a bunch of zeros. We're going to draw our Talon Gates here, and then we're going to start drawing with our ring, see if there's a Hull Breacher. No Hull Breacher. Okay. So I think I will go with Monolith, Tezzeret. They can have Hardcast Trap. Then we have just another ring, so... yeah, okay. Force, pitching flow state, making a Composer. Consign. Okay. It's fine. I have to have another one with this. A new ring. Am I drawing or am I keeping a 2? I think I'm interested in drawing another card here. Fence Grid. I'm going to spin. I mean, they're going to draw another 8 bajillion cards here. Defense Grid and Forge. I think what I'll do is I'll start playing these now. Just so I have infinite mana, really. Okay. So I have a top, and then I have a Forge, and I have a ring, and I have an Academy, and my opponent is dying to their own ring. They are at 7. I don't know. If you commandeer a ring and lose, then I think you scrap the deck. What do we lose to here? We lose to Hercule's Recall. We still have this to beat Hold Reacher as well. And they'll have to play the Hull Breacher on their turn now, so... I don't know. I kind of think we're going to win this game. Saga Gaming. Hull Breacher. Tinker. Okay. Yeah. Tinker's good, but I have a Vexing Bauble, so what are you tinkering for? Black Lotus. Just to get rid of it. Okay. Just to get rid of the One Ring, have to tinker into a Black Lotus. So my opponent has nothing here, which means they're definitely dead. Let's draw. Two defense grids. Well, maybe I'm going to lose this. Oh, wait. I think I will play this Ancient Tomb. Make a guy. Draw? I actually have to find another ring, don't I? Or a win. I mean, I have to find... Oh, I just... Oh, I bumbled it. Oh, wait, no, I can do this. I can do... I can put the Talon Gates into play. Oh my god, nothing I do matters, man. Everything wins. Everything wins. I really messed up, and it just doesn't matter. Nothing actually matters. This deck is stupid. It's crazy. Okay, so yeah, this deck is still broken. I think this could have been a 5-0 if I was a better Magic player and played round 4 differently. As for our flex slots, I actually kind of think the Talon Gates have been very good. I'm pretty sold on the 15 land Talon Gates thing. I still think Misstep is good, but it could be an Opal. The main deck Needle I like a lot as well. I still don't know that this Serpent is actually any good. I think this Serpent should just be maybe something else. And then I don't know if I need a Lantern or Grip. So I don't think I learned anything other than maybe a sequencing thing against a possible Tinker opponent. But that's a really good, useful thing to learn. So that the next time that comes up, I can know that maybe I'm supposed to go get a Vexing Bauble to play around getting chained. So I think I did learn something here, even though it was kind of a stomping of a league. This deck is just completely broken. Even the decks that are anti this are still not good enough against it. I got my opponent commandeered a ring on turn 1, and I won anyways. So hopefully these are still interesting and fun for you guys. I'm trying to make as many videos as I can so that I don't have to do very much playing with this format after OKC. I'd like to maybe try to play some TFT and take a break. So we'll see what exactly happens with that. But some of these matches are really cool, and some of these decisions are kind of interesting. It's just like in between all the matches that are really cool is like just loads and loads of I played my cards from my hand and you die, which is just not my favorite kind of gameplay. Some people really enjoy that. It's good to exist, but we don't want it to be the overwhelming factor in most matches, I would say. So thank you for watching. I hope you're still enjoying. If not, just wait for the car to go away. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.